Hey everybody, Jim Cowan here again from your UArts Libraries. And today we're going to take a quick look at what I dare say some folks find to be one of the more fun aspects of the UArts Libraries online resources, and that is our streaming video. So as always, when you want to check out our resources, be sure to start at library.uarts.edu. And in the online resources section of our page, you'll find all the different resources we have access to, including our streaming video. I will mention you'll find a lot of our streaming video when you use OneSearch, which is great. But if we take a quick look at the streaming video page right down here, you'll see what you're pulling from when you get results in OneSearch. And additionally, I can show you a few features, just a few, there's too many to cover in a short video, a few features or benefits of searching the databases individually. And we'll start by taking a look at Alexander Street Video, by far our largest provider of streaming video. And you'll notice that we actually have two links to Alexander Street. And while the results are going to be the same, the way you'll find them will be slightly different. So to actually start, let's take a look at the second link first. And when we click on it, to me, this has a very contemporary feel to it. You'll see some editors picks like CNN. You'll see new additions to the site, including American Movie, which I actually want to check out. And it even highlights some exclusive content, in this case, a lot of nature documentaries. And by all means, you're going to find great, I'm going to slide this over here. By all means, you're going to find great documentaries in here, but there's also just fun movies to watch. So for example, if I do a quick search on Sony, you'll see it brings up Sony Pictures Classics. When we click on it, again, yes, you're going to find some great documentaries, but there's also just some fun movies. So even if it's not for academic work, if you just wanted to sit down and watch Persepolis, by all means, you could do that. And scrolling through, you'll see there's a pretty good variety here. One that I just discovered recently when I was visiting a class, a teacher mentioned Devil's Backbone, which I'm not familiar with, but with any luck, I'll be able to watch it this weekend. And apparently this is a predecessor and kind of ties in thematically to Pan's Labyrinth, which seemed pretty interesting to me. And again, this won't be for work. This will be me on the weekend sitting down and watching a movie. So by all means, I recommend you do the same. I always like to joke that I have Netflix and Hulu, and my girlfriend has Sling and Amazon Prime, but we still find ourselves using some of these library resources as well. And I hope you will too. Now, if we go back to the library homepage, and back into our streaming video link under the online resources section, let's take a quick look at the first link to Alexander Street Video. And you'll notice right away, this has a lot more of an academic feel to it. One of the benefits, though, is that you can browse by discipline. So for all of you visual artists, you can click on art and design, and you'll see their art and architecture resources here. If you're a performing artist, you might want to check out the performing arts, broken out music, dance, theater. And down at the bottom, maybe you're back for education, and they do have a link to all their education videos as well. So if you want to browse by your specific discipline or any specific discipline, it's a quick and easy way to do it. In addition, in the top right, there's a search tool. And one of the benefits of searching in a database like this, as opposed to only using OneSearch, is OneSearch is only going to search the metadata. So it's going to find titles, authors, subjects. But if we search in this database specifically, and let's take a look at this video, Ken Burns Jazz #8. I always use Miles as my go-to. You'll see on the right-hand side here, there's a transcript. So when you search in the database, not only are you searching the basic fields, but you're searching within this database. And then once you're in here, you can even search further and see all the mentions of Miles. So here Miles is mentioned, here Miles is mentioned again, here Miles is mentioned again. And then when you find a spot you want to listen to or watch, you just click on it and it'll take you right there and you're in.
I decided right then and there that I had to leave St. Louis and live in New York.
That's a great shot of New York to boot. So that's a benefit of searching these individual databases. It's a great way to find primary resources as well. The reason I use Miles as an example is a student was looking for interviews by Miles or about Miles, and we found some great interviews by Miles and Sonny Rollins talking about Miles, and in this video, Wynton Marsalis talks about Miles. So it's a great way to find some additional resources. Or again, if you're just interested in Miles for yourself. So let's go back to the library homepage and into streaming video. I do want to mention Kanopy Streaming, which is probably one of our more popular streaming resources. If you click on it, it's going to show you the 250 plus videos we currently have access to. You might notice right away, the 400 Blows is from the Criterion Collection. We have a bunch of Criterion Collection streaming here, and they're kind of all over the map. Some documentaries on Andy Warhol. Here's one on Banksy. Almost couldn't get that out. Lots of different things. When you find one that interests you, let's go with Black Theater. You click on it. It'll take you right in. Now, remember, from off campus, you might have to enter your UArts credentials. Right now, I'm on the VPN to make my life easier, so it's just going to take me right in. But from off campus, just use your UArts email address without at uarts.edu and your corresponding password. And then once you're in, you click on it, and it'll play right up. Now, if you start browsing around once you're in here, so let's check out Peter Brook. We have that one too. Let me just click around for a second. Bear with me here. So you might see something like this on occasion. The University of the Arts doesn't offer the Stronger right now. As I mentioned, we currently have 250 streaming movies from Kanopy, but they have more. So if you ever find one that we don't have access to, but it's something you might want to check out, feel free to shoot us an email and let us know, especially if it's for academic classes. If it's for an academic class, we will do our best to get you access to it. If you want to have your teacher shoot us an email and say the student really needs this, that'll make it easier for us to justify spending the money to get it. So don't hesitate to do that. And maybe it's not for an academic class. Maybe you just want to watch a particular movie just for fun. The free library has Kanopy too. So if you're ever interested in that, shoot me an email and I can fill you in on that as well. But we only have so much time. And I want to quickly mention our remaining databases, which are a little bit more discipline specific. So again, back to our streaming video link. And if we scroll down to the bottom here, you'll see the remaining databases we have as well. As you can see, these, as I mentioned, get a little bit more discipline specific. So perhaps you're a theater graduate student over at the Pig Iron School. This first link is for Digital Theater Plus. We have to remove that on campus. Sorry about that. But Digital Theater Plus has a lot of contemporary streaming theater videos from the West End in London. You can see these are all pretty recent looking. And for anybody who's not, let's say dance, for example, you scroll down to the bottom under performance form, it breaks it out, including dance, including music. So it does go beyond theater, but it is, of course, theater heavy. It even has interviews with actors, directors, stage designers, all of those kind of things in the practice and practitioners area, as well as some background information you'll find on different topics in the theory and criticism area as well. Again, a lot of great resources here. Digital Theater Plus, as your library theater liaison, I will say Digital Theater Plus is one of my favorite resources we have access to. I won't go into the rabbit hole of what got me into this database to begin with, but I find it really interesting. It's got a lot of fun stuff. Again, here's some of the more academic sides to it as well. While I'm talking about theater real quick, if we go back to streaming video, I'll also mention down at the bottom here, we have Shakespeare's Globe on Screen. You'll find a lot of Shakespeare productions in different databases, including Alexander Street. But some of those might be older, 70s, 80s, 90s. Nothing wrong with the actual production, but the recording value might not be top notch. Whereas all of these videos are from the reconstructed theater, ranging from 2014 to 2019-ish. And there's probably ones being added now from 2020. Oh, if any happen because of the pandemic, there might not be any this year. But you'll find them all here. And when you click on it again, you'll see they're pretty good, high quality recordings, fairly recent as well. Definitely worth checking out if you're into theater or, of course, are a theater major.
Affrighted. With what, in the name of God?
Pretty cool, if you ask me. Now, the next one I want to mention on the streaming video page is Ryozone. Is On the Boards TV. I didn't mean to skip that far ahead. On the Boards TV tends to be popular with our dance department. It's got a lot of dance productions, but in addition, there's music down here, lots of different things as well. There's even, if I click to the right here, master classes. Again, very contemporary, very modern, a great resource to check out. And you can click on the films link in the top left to see all the different films that are available right now. And I'll just scroll through real quick. Pretty interesting things. I definitely recommend checking it out. It's another one that I can lose an afternoon on. If I'm not careful now, I'll be talking for the next 2 hours, or I'll stop talking and just start watching a video. And now for the music folk in the room, if we go back to streaming video, and I say music folk because of course we have a music graduate program, but I recommend everybody check this out. I might be biased because I'm your music librarian, but Quest TV is a great streaming video resource. You do have to click access to get in, of live performances and documentaries focused on music. Here we go. And it's very jazz heavy. You'll see classic jazz, contemporary jazz, but there's lots of world music, blues and gospel, soul, funk, and hip hop, which I tend to find myself checking out. And as I mentioned, it goes back to the classics, but I know there's a 2018 jazz festival in here. It's really all over the map. And old school James Brown when he was with Famous Flames. Really cool things in here. I recently watched Sun Ra, a great performance by them in the late 80s. This is another great one. Even if you're not doing it for academic purposes, you can put it on, clean your apartment, and listen to great music while you're doing it. Last but not least on the streaming video page, I do want to mention Ryozome for all of our visual artists in particular. Again, this is a cross-discipline site, but it's aiming to capture, I'll say capture. It's aiming to capture art created in a digital medium, kind of on the nose right now as we're all working remotely. But this is all art that was created to be viewed in a digital sense. It's very cool. It's very hip. It's a little out of my comfort zone, but if you want to check it out, I strongly recommend you do. All right, before I go on and on, thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you want to know anything else about the streaming video or any of the library resources we have, please don't hesitate to contact me directly at jcowan@uarts.edu, or of course, you can always email libraries@uarts.edu, and we do have a link in the top right to the contact page. Feel free to contact us at any time. We love talking to you, and we love talking about our resources. Thanks again, and have a great day.